Now that we know how to organize our introduction, let's see exactly the information we need to include when we're writing an introduction for an expository exemplification essay. Now, when it comes to the information you need to include in this paragraph, well, you're going to need to establish the essay's focus. Therefore, you're going to need to tell us who you admire the most, generalize what they did, said, accomplished to make you admire them, and then you're going to provide your general reason why. Now, this is very much what our introduction is. In fact, this is probably going to be our initiating expectations, whereas our why is going to result in our thesis statement. But you need this information. Don't say, I admire her because it's great. Who is her and what does great mean? So make sure you establish the essay's focus. Also in your introduction, you are going to need to, explain admiration. Because your audience and you might have a different understanding, you are going to need to create a common understanding by explaining, defining what admiration is. Now, to do this, I suggest taking that discussion forum about admiration, what it means to you, and pull out some information from there and help yourself define what admiration is. But you need this to create a common understanding. In fact, you can do this in your hook or when you initiate expectations, but don't do it in both. You don't need to explain admiration twice. That's repetitive. Now, you also need to make sure you include any necessary context, anything your audience might need to know. Take, for example, maybe we need to know your relationship. Brief relationship, you don't need to explain all of it, only the things that are significant. But include this if it is necessary. If you say, Mom, we know it's your mom, unless she became your mom in some different, unique kind of way. And make sure that you include any relevant biography information. I can't emphasize this enough. Relevant. I don't need to know where they're from, when they were born, how many siblings they had. I don't need to know that unless it is relevant to your argument. So, in your introduction, make sure you organize with a hook, initiating expectations, and then finishing with a thesis statement. But also make sure this information is somewhere in that introduction.